It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go, slow down. It's moist out there. Go to ESPNSA.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, socially distanced as always, but eager to bring you restaurant quality radio. James Pudger's going to attempt to deliver that. Well, it's got 2.5 hours of fun. We got some more Rangers Devil Rays baseball, and for my money, I'd just soon Rangers stay there. They seem to like it there.
Yeah, they're playing better in Tampa Bay than, say, the Spurs did.
That's right. I had not put that together, but yes, Spurs didn't go so triumphant there against those Toronto Raptors. We'll talk Spurs today, of course, as they get ready for a Portland team. We'll prepare for what could be an imminent butt whooping, or maybe they will bring it all. We'll try to figure it out. Don't forget Game Night San Antonio at 6 o'clock with Jill Jelnick. We'll get you all ready for that. We'll talk football for sure. Todd McShay did something different this time. He flipped the script on us. He didn't tell us who the team should draft. He told us all of the NFL teams' needs, according to the great mind of Todd McShay. He looked at the Dallas Cowboys, looked at the length and breadth of last season, decided upon further observation that their biggest weakness was a tight end.
Yeah, they need offense. He's been reading all the headlines. He listens to Jerry Jones. The fact that, and we'll get into it, that McShay has tight end as the let me try to say this with a straight face. Todd McShay has tight end as the number one need of your Dallas Cowboys.
But we'll defend him because he does back up why he said that in the article, and it does make perfect sense as to why he said it. Hey, man, there's we're going to have RJ
anyway,
Ochoa.
So I'm going to jump on board.
he of Blogging the Boys is going to join us at 5:15. He's a Kyle Pitzer. He's down. He's down for the Pits.
I am.
So I think we all are. If we get something else first, but we'll talk about what Todd McShay has. I think he does actually have things in a pretty good order, and you look at what the Cowboys are doing. You also kind of have to weigh against what is the rest of the NFC East doing, and that might play into what the Cowboys might be looking for, especially knowing that they are going to draft right behind them. That might be kind of important as you can prepare for the draft. Like I said, RJ will join us. We didn't really get into it yesterday, but it was announced that Tim Duncan, as he ascends to the highness that is the Basketball Hall of Fame, will be presented by David Robinson. And, when I heard David Robinson, of course, it makes perfect sense. But I wasn't surprised. But, Jason, I was surprised.
You were surprised.
I was surprised.
I thought it would be his bike riding buddy, Manu. I thought, Pop. There was and again, David Robinson does make perfect sense.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, if you were to ask me 6 weeks ago to lay money on who would be his presenter, I think David Robinson probably is 4th or 5th on my list.
Well, he knows his way around the place.
Well, he does. He's already there.
He knows where the bathrooms are. I mean, if you're going to be presented, might as well have somebody there that knows how to get around the back doors and things like that. So now it's actually coming together because Manu hadn't had that opportunity yet, and he will.
The other question that I'm very curious of, and I don't know the answer to this, do presenters have to already be in the Hall of Fame? Because as I look at everybody that is going in, all their presenters are already in the Hall of Fame. So I wonder if that's a requirement, which would take Manu off. That would take Pop off. We might look that up before we do the segment, so we sound a little bit more prepared. But at the same time, it just kind of surprised me when I heard David Robinson.
And again, all due respect, absolutely makes perfect sense. But when I first thought that was a lot, we'll go down the list of all the others. You know who's bringing in Coach Mulkey? Kim Mulkey's got her a highlight reel bringing her in.
Well, and again, I mean, you're right. Although it was her second option because her first one is unable to go, so she decided, Michael Jordan, which makes all the sense in the world. I mean, I think of Kim Mulkey and I think of Michael Jordan all the time. I mean, always together doing things. Apparently, they were on the '84 Olympics together.
Makes sense. Where was '84? That was is that L.A.? Yeah, it was. That was Los Angeles.
84 was
that was a good
LA.
time.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Coach Mulkey is the most intimidating coach in all of college sports. She is.
She really is a nice lady. I've heard wonderful. I mean, but you're right. So
sideline, yikes.
Yeah, going back a little bit, but if you remember, early 2000s, all the Fuller boys that were playing out at Smithson Valley, and one ends up at Baylor playing football up there, and marries Kim Mulkey's daughter, and I'm just thinking the same thing, dude. Your mother-in-law. Like, dude, man, you gotta be. Yeah.
Your mother-in-law is Coach Mulkey. She come over and your house is a little dirty. You're out front.
Yeah,
clipping the lawn with scissors. And penance. We'll look at who's inducting into the Hall of Fame. Talk about Steph Curry. Man, my goodness, he looked spectacular, and the debate does, in fact, continue. A&M had a mutiny, it appears. Today, the basketball team all up and got into the portal and transferred themselves away. They did pick up one or two, but there's something up in College Station. I don't know what's going on with Buzz and the Aggies, but he lost a lot of guys unexpectedly, I would say, today, though he had lost some previous. We'll look at what's going on at A&M. And we finally hear from Nick Caserio, the general manager of the Houston Texans today. And, this wasn't going to be easy. But I do want to give credit to the general manager Caserio. While it was one of his tougher outings, he's a world-class deflector. He is made of Teflon and says the right things. And despite all of that, Jason, I think both of you and I agree, kind of like him. Looks like he's the right man for the job, but I wouldn't want that job.
I don't know if he's the right man for the job, but I hope he gets a fair shake in Houston.
Who would be the right man for the job if it's not him?
Dude, I have no idea. I didn't know enough about Nick Caserio when he got the job to know if he was the right man for the job. I mean, and because he's got the Jack Easterby stink on him, I think we all went a little negative right from the get-go. He's an Easterby hire from New England, all that kind of stuff, without really knowing him or giving, your first impression is a lasting one. The press conferences that he's done, and those weird videos, propaganda stuff that they were doing at HoustonTexans.com, trying to make him likable. He seems like the kind of guy you would want as your general manager. But, he shows up and JJ's gone. Deshaun's in trouble, probably gone, wants out. I mean, we know this is going to be a bad football team for a couple of years, if not longer. And I kind of look at like Bo Porter. Remember Bo Porter? Raise your hand if you remember Bo Porter. Bo Porter was the poor guy who was managing the Houston Astros when they were losing 100 games with the idea that, we've got a system. We got a plan that we're going to work with our farm system. Just bear with us. We know we're going to suck for a couple of years, but we're going to be good really, really soon. Well, about the time they were getting good, Bo Porter gets fired, AJ Hinch gets hired, and the Astros go win a World Series. I hope that they sent Bo Porter a check and a ring, because he had to endure 3 100-loss seasons and then gets fired. And then somebody else, I hope that's not the same path that Nick Caserio is ultimately going to be on. Do everything you can to rebuild this thing, but somebody else is going to get the credit when they are good again.
Makes sense, I think. I like him, though.
I mean, David Culley is the Bo Porter.
Yeah. Culley is. There's never been a bigger
You
yes
understand
man.
The analogy, Pledge.
I'm with you. But you know what? I appreciate the situation that he's in, and he's handling it as best as he can. And I will give him that credit. He certainly took a lot of pointed questions today and batted them away as good as any Wonder Woman metal bracelet. Just ping, pow, pow, back at you. It was spectacular radio, and we'll look at what he had to say. But coming back, Todd McShay tells the world what every NFL's prescriptive need is. We'll talk about what he told about the Cowboys and if he's right, and how much a role Kyle Pitts plays in that, coming up next here on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over there on San Pedro. Sam can put your logo on masks, on shirts, on jackets, on hats, on anything, your book bags, backpacks, whatever you got. You need cups done, he can do that as well. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. He has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or go visit the massive showroom on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. All items do come with a warranty, and you work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him 210-824-3900, 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
The Big Score is back. We're giving you 13 chances a day to win $1,000. Just listen for the keyword once an hour, every hour between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. Just another way it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You can talk keto all you want, but if you don't have a team of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the diet marathon. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have these big, bold flavors that kick your taste buds into high gear. Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill, and more. Eat them right out of the bag or try them in your favorite recipes. You'll love this snack. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rind.
Hey, it's me, your cousin from Boston. I'm on the radio doing ads for Sam Adams. Now I'll be known as the Sam Adams guy instead of the dude who fell in the quarry. Sam Adams Boston Lager is crisp and refreshing, which is why I bring a six-pack wherever I go, except the movies anymore. Sam Adams from Boston with love. Here's the legal part. Watch how fast I can read. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Drink responsibly. Now, is that 30 seconds? Are we even close?
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
Printing you new signs for the times.
Get back to business with custom printed signs and sales materials. Staples has hundreds of designs to choose from, or just upload your own.
And now at Staples, get 15% off signs, posters, or decals when you spend $75 or more.
Some items printed same day when ordered before 2 p.m.
Save big on custom printing at Staples.
Ends 5/29/21. Exclusions apply. Limit one offer per customer. See store associate or visit staples.com/signage for details.
Allstate is known for quality insurance, but you might not know them for low rates. That's about to change. With Allstate, you can save up to 25% when you bundle your home and auto. You know what else you might not know? The chicken came before the egg. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company, and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The football offseason is always exciting. Coaches get hired, players get traded, free agents move into new cities. If you want to hire people that are really excited about you, team up with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's matching technology finds people with the right experience for your job and actively invites them to apply. No wonder 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter gets a qualified candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Bart. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/Bart.
It's the Blitz. Welcome on to ESPN San Antonio. Hope you're having a fine, damp Friday. Don't mind the brake lights. We'll get you home. He's Jason. I'm Rob. Kane Brown's coming to San Antonio October the 16th. Tickets went on sale today. Get them post-haste at KaneBrownMusic.com or at the AT&T box office. Or listen to the Sunday Sports Grill. Sunday Sports Grill. They get going about 11 o'clock. Michael Jimenez, Quinn Hudson, they're going to have a pair. Listen, they'll give them away. Shouldn't be hard. James will be there. It'll be cool. We'll all hang out. Sunday, 11 to 1, your Sunday Sports Grill. So Todd McShay released his, I don't even know what to call this, the team needs?
Yeah, sure.
So will he very quickly answer his team needs column with a proper draft to
Todd
match
McShay's top NFL draft needs for all 32 teams? Because he's been telling us for weeks what they're going to do. And maybe the fact that this got published at 6:15 in the morning, which tells me, like most college students, it was going to hit the web at 6:15. So he woke up at 3 and put some stuff on a page and hit send.
You know what? It does help. And I know what the next column is going to read like, because he's going to say, well, we all know the needs of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we all know it because we all read it last week, and I have the answer to those needs. And according to Todd McShay, given the latest bit of news, the Cowboys continue to chase or need, I don't know how we look at it, Kyle Pitts. And we've had a lot of fun talking about it over the last couple of days.
Now for the record, he does not say Kyle Pitts anywhere in here. He says tight end. He says tight end. And again, top draft needs. And this is when you're into the silly season part of draft coverage, because we're 2 weeks away. You've written everything, 8 different ways. I mean, I did 2 beer can chickens last week because my niece wanted to have some extra chicken for meal prep all week. I've had a form of some sort of chicken all week long. I am chickened out. There's only so many different ways you could do that. And I think that's where McShay is at with his mock draft. So what the hell? Jerry wants a tight end. I'm going to put need at tight end for Jerry Jones so he feels justified, because he'll be able to say, well, Todd McShay said we needed a tight end. And I went to our scouting department, says, do we need a tight end? Well, there might be one available.
Up at 4, maybe. I mean, there might be one up there. And if you believe what I think, that spaghetti's still on the wall, that the 49ers are going to go after Pitts at 3. They traded up to get not a quarterback, but a tight end. That's just what I believe. But, okay, so getting that out of the way. So we knock the idea that a tight end is a necessary, at least an early necessary for the Dallas Cowboys. He does follow that up with defensive tackle, cornerback, safety, linebacker, guard, offensive tackle, punter in that order. I even find that a little iffy, although I am completely down with a defensive line pick. But if it is, in fact, that, and that is the Cowboys' greatest need, why the hell are they sitting at 10? No, I wouldn't stay there.
I mean, you could always trade back. And if Kyle Pitts is gone, I think this does start the conversation, the serious conversation of at number 10. Now, granted, you've got NFC East division opponents drafting right behind you. So, you got to do a little CBing at that point as well. But at the same time, if they did move back, because when you look at the variety of mock drafts, while there are some very talented corners in this draft, and the Cowboys certainly have a need at corner, there are 4 or 5 that everybody swears are the best one. There is not the Deion Sanders type or, an Aaron Donald that is going to be available to you at number 10. One of those difference making, you've got to get defensive players. There's a whole bunch of guys that are really, really good that no matter which one you take, we won't know for 3 or 4 years if it was a mistake or not. You're not
I do know this. They've been only adequate in drafting and terrible in free agent scouting. I do know that whoever the eyeballs are that have been picking the cornerbacks, I'm not taking anything away from the entirety of the picture, but they have whiffed a couple of times, primarily with experienced guys. Diggs, I thought, was appropriate. The guy played to the level that he was drafted. Fine pick. But if you're concerned, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe their eyeball isn't good for cornerback. Maybe they do a little bit better at another position, say offensive lineman.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, I think both of us agree that at number 10, if Kyle Pitts is gone and a Sewell or a Slater is sitting there at number 10, that is who you take, with the idea that you're not going to be picking in the top 10 anytime soon. And that needs to be your mindset.
Absolutely.
If you laugh at that, everybody drafting in the top 10 is hoping that they're not drafting in the top 10 again for a very long time, if not ever. You go back to that quote, and I'm paraphrasing what Mike Tomlin was saying to dude up in Washington. Man, I'll never get a player like you. We're never going to draft high enough, and he's okay with that. And there's some truth to that. You look at the Cowboys' recent draft history. They have hit on their first-round picks outside of Taco Charlton for the last several years. Their second-round picks, though, certainly debatable. When you go back and you think about second round taking a Randy Gregory and then a Jalen Smith, which is debatable, Cheeto, who's already gone, Connor Williams, still not a starter, Connor McGovern, still not a regular starter, Trevon Diggs played well last year. He might end up being a good one, but their first round picks have been pretty good. Their second round guys, that's where you really have to question somebody. And so a defensive tackle at 44 seems about right looking at this year's draft class, but it does make me a little bit nervous about what they might end up doing.
You know, we talked a lot about that first pick, and certainly there are lots of in-between picks. You see the Cowboys at some point late looking at quarterback? It's certainly not on McShay's list, and it's not a serious need, but there is a depth issue, I do believe.
Well, I mean, there's a depth issue if they part ways with Ben DiNucci, and you still have Garrett Gilbert technically right now probably as your number two. You know, if the 5th or 6th round is in that, I don't know if there's. I mean, you look at this is a deep quarterback class, and certainly all the ones that are getting all the attention on all the draft shows. That's not who the Cowboys are going to get. But when you think about, you know, guys like a Shane Buechele or a Sam Ehlinger or a Kellen Mond, if they're available in the 5th or 6th round, you'd almost be dumb not to, just to have that protection. And you've got a player that you can have just in case. It's certainly not a need. That to me would be more of a luxury pick than number 10 taking Kyle Pitts.
It would be a luxury pick anything earlier than 5 or 6, I think, later when we get down there. But I would like to see them pick up a young quarterback to continue this. I'm not sure if DiNucci is going to be permanently stained or you know, this we'll never be able to look at him the right way, whether that translates to the way the coaches see him or not. But if I'll tell you this, if Buechele sits there in the 7th round, 6th round, it'd be hard not to take him for a lot of reasons. If I'm Jerry, it'd be hard not to take him.
And again, I mean, you know, you can never have enough quarterbacks. You can never, you know, get rid of Ben DiNucci. You start over with Shane Buechele. I mean, you're always looking for that magic. You just invested $1 gazillion in your starting quarterback. So if you're not going with a veteran backup, then yeah, you get a pretty good one. The one that scares me is in the 7th round. If there happens to be a super senior from the University of Arkansas, Jerry's probably going to take him just to make sure he helps the alumni out with draft prospects, and probably knows that guy pretty good.
Felipe Franks, the transfer from Florida, long and lean for sure. If Shane Buechele goes ahead of Ehlinger in the draft, will that be the ultimate? I left, but I did better.
Uh-huh.
You didn't. You were no more successful than I, and I threw for probably more yards.
It depends on where they go. I think Sam probably goes a little bit higher.
He should.
You know, he's obviously a project in the NFL, but you know, you look at places where you've got runners and throwers and need a backup to where the offense doesn't change a whole lot if they come in there. And just the grit that the kid has. I mean, that's the kind of guy that coaches want in the locker room.
Nick Caserio spoke today. We're going to come back talking about what Nick didn't say to Deshaun Watson. Shadow certainly hung over that entire presser, but the Texans are moving on. We'll listen to and we'll find out about their thoughts about the draft and how they rebuild a team. But before we do, good news coming out of the fight world yesterday, Jason. Tank Davis and Mario Barrios are going to go at it. Tank's going to put on a little weight and go up a level, fight some super lightweight with a hometown El Azteca. This is going to be a huge fight. We're excited to have this come around, and we might have Mario next week, right?
We're going to have him on Tuesday. Was texting with them today. He's out in California, actually right now. But yeah, Mario Barrios, huge title defense fight coming up. This is big. I mean, we talked about it before. What's going to be next? And as he continues to become one of those boxers that everybody's talking about, a win in this one, the trajectory for his career, man, rocket ships.
Javante Tank, one punch wonder, man. He damn near killed Cruz last time we saw it, and then he went out and went a little nuts. Wasn't he in police custody at one point, I think, recently? Yeah, we're excited about the fight. It's going to be on Showtime. Showtime put together a pretty good group of fights coming up over the next several months, and they'll be headlined by a huge one Again, Mario Barrios is signed to take on Tank Davis. The fight's coming up this summer. Super lightweight belt on the line. And Mario will be with us next Tuesday at 5:30. When we come back, Nick Caserio is offering us where the Texans stand. Can't be a good position to be in, but here we sit. What's going to happen to Deshaun? When will we see him? He will deflect that and many other questions when we come back. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, it's the weekend, a little rainy today, but if you're going to fire up the grill, you know you want the best sausage for that grill. You need to get it and get yourself Kielbasa smoked sausage. It's what you need. It's the kind of sausage you used to find in butcher shops back in the old days, and it's because the way they make their great Kielbasa sausage. It's made in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949 when he started the company right here in San Antonio. And Kielbasa is still a great local San Antonio company. Everything they make is made right here in town over there off of South Brazos Street. At Kielbasa, they are on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you'll ever eat. If it's not, call Michael Kielbasa. He'll give you your money back. He puts his phone number on the back of every package sold. Kielbasa sausage is now available at Walmart. And, of course, you can find Kielbasa sausage, bacon, chorizo, and breakfast links at an H-E-B near you. You're going to fire up the grill? Go get some Kielbasa today.
We get you ready for every single silver and black game on Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is DeJounte Murray.
Get the latest on the silver and black before every game.
It's Game Night San Antonio.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Thomas J. Henry recently recovered $20 million for a back injury in a product liability case. If you were hurt in an accident, we can help. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim today. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
How clean is your nose? Most airborne germs and allergens invade through the nose, your body's air filter. It's first line of defense. You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? Did you know there's an easy way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself? It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to clean your nose by flushing out pollen, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. Millions use Navage for fast, all-natural relief from sinus congestion and allergies, and to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage is easy to use, affordable, and it comes with an absolute guarantee of satisfaction. And 50,000 independent online reviews averaging 4.7 stars show just how much people love their Navage. You wash your hands and brush your teeth every day. Now you can clean your nose and help protect your health with Navage at Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Make good nasal hygiene your new normal with Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
How come I can't get my car looking like that? Oh, hey, how is it going? Car looks great.
Thanks. Just put another coat on it.
Coat of?
Graphene nanospray coating from 303. It brings the paint to life, but also protects it.
Gotta be expensive.
Not a chance. Plus, you get a year of protection, and the water beating is crazy. Have a good one.
You too. Guess I know what I'm doing this weekend.
The new 303 Graphene Nano Spray Coating. For more information, head to 303radio.com.
It's the Blitz. Welcome aboard ESPN San Antonio. He's Jason, I'm Rob. Did you see Dwayne Wade bought into the Utah Jazz?
Of all teams.
Well, didn't they just got sold. The Miller family sold that after, they'd owned them forever. I guess it's a way to kind of expand and maybe rectify some long-term issues that I really don't want to get into, but I think we're all aware of what's happened in Utah over the years. So, yeah, good for Dwayne. That's the new thing now. You got to have a team.
Well, that's it. You get into the ownership groups. And it doesn't matter what your loyalties are. I mean, quite frankly, when you work in sports, whatever your favorite team is the one that logo happens to be on your check. And then, the shirts that you wear around the house. Yeah. I mean, we certainly, understand that. But you look at like LeBron, who we know is a huge Yankees fan, buying into the Red Sox. It's an investment. And they've got so much money. They're able to do that.
Didn't Shaq buy into doesn't he own part of the Kings? I think Shaq has a little bit of a
Shaq
team.
Not own? I mean, the other day, apparently he's paying off some dude's wedding ring on layaway at like Zales or something, and apparently he's got a jewelry line over there.
I'm glad you brought this up. We're going to talk about Nick Caserio. What it was in Zales that Shaq was going in there for?
Well, his own jewelry line is apparently there.
So was he just there again? Was he just checking out like, hey, this is my stuff? Was he like being a spokesperson, like you at the end of an aisle? Like
just hearing him talk, he said that he needed to pick up some jewelry because he travels a lot.
At sales?
Something. So I guess if it's your own line, you got to wear your own stuff, and that's the only place to get it.
And he had to go to the mall to get it. I don't understand what Shaq was doing in Zales. I can understand a lot of things, but Shaq at the mall just cruising by. Hey, man, let's go check out Zales. He could lay down that black card. I'll take it all. I'll take the lot.
You're right. I mean, he could.
I'll take a look at it. Now, what's your return policy like?
But I mean, to think that Shaq doesn't go to the mall. I mean, unfortunately, because people take pictures. But we've all seen pictures of Tim Duncan standing in line at the convenience store. I mean,
yeah, but you got to go get a pint of milk. I'm down with that. Tim Duncan nor Shaq needs to drop by Zales to pick up jewelry. I thought that was kind of fishy. I'm just saying that Shaq, first of all, if he is within 1,000 feet, he's there. I mean, everybody's Shaq's here. You can't miss him. So the guy's like, I don't know. It's good press. I just wonder what he was doing.
You think he was doing because apparently, like, if you run into Shaq, he's going to buy your stuff. He does it all the time. Most of the time, he tells people don't say anything. He doesn't want it known, when he just pays off somebody's bills.
So he's like kung fu. He just roams the mall doing good deeds.
Well, it's going to be the new series on Netflix. Shaq buys your stuff. Superhero Shaq. You're in line, and I'm just going to pay for your groceries, right? I mean, sure.
Check his wallet.
I bought it.
It says something on it.
Same thing, Shaq at Zales. Really? Oh, well, he owns the place.
Shaq was just hanging around the Orlando. I don't know what Zales he was in. Just, I'm glad I could be here. I'm here to pick up that broken link on that chain that I bought. I needed it soldered.
Okay.
And
can you change my watch battery?
Yeah, I'm here to get my signet ring embossed with Shaquille, please. Oh, you're here. Really? Okay. I thought he would frequent a different type of jeweler. I'm not denigrating Zales. Zales is more than I can afford, but for Shaq just to be milling around in the back of a
look, you would
Zales.
think that Shaq would be at a jewelry shop that has like armed security and that not anybody can just walk in there. Or, the jeweler just brings everything over to the house and says, "What would you like, sir?"
That's the kind of jeweler. I'm sure he deals with the jeweler that when you walk in, there's like a table with a bright light and all these stones wrapped up in little tiny pieces of paper.
So you go those fancy watch stores in in Vegas, and you're a watch guy, so I'm guessing you've probably been in these Hublot and some of those places where you see them on display. And they're just out there. And then when you go to reach, they turn over so you can't touch them.
Yeah, they flip back. It's got those little seeing.
Yeah, those are the kind of
Jones
places that Shaq is in, not Zales. And again, no offense to Zales, but
no, not at all.
It's Shaq. But apparently he has a jewelry line there.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's what I just keep hearing. No offense.
Absolutely not. And I will have to plead ignorance. I didn't know that Shaq had his own line of jewelry.
Oh, me neither. And again, the
big
other part
ass rings. Just big old rings. Just about the size of a silver dollar.
There's nothing in there that he's just going to try on and it's going to fit. I would imagine that most of Shaq's jewelry pieces are custom made.
As a man of size, I wear a variety of former large athletes' clothing.
And just current large clothing.
I have at least one Strahan suit. I know for a fact. I might actually have two Michael Strahan suits, and I have another big. I used to wear George Foreman used to have a tall and fat line. I used to wear some George Foreman clothes. I think Shaq actually has a line at JCPenney's too. So
I'm sure he does it because it's right next to Zales in the mall.
There you go. He was there actually checking out. It was his displays.
He's getting a suit.
He's making sure everything is merchandised correctly.
Again, Shaq probably wears custom clothes. He ain't buying anything off the rack.
I'm accustomed to going to the tall and fat store. I know that when I walk into a mall, that 80% of the stores that have men's clothes, they ain't going to have my size. Like if that
you don't go to Abercrombie.
Abercrombie.
You don't go shopping with Pledge.
There is literally an alarm that goes off when I walk in there.
Dad alert.
We don't have what you need, sir.
Dad alert.
Dad alert. I'm sorry, sir. We don't go any larger than large. We don't go any larger than large.
And it's a tight large.
Can you imagine? Yeah, Shaq hadn't bought anything off the rack in 20 years.
Longer than that. I don't think he could buy anything when he was over at Cole High School.
He's body shamed today.
Tall, skinny guy.
Yeah, with size 27 shoes. Yeah. I didn't mean to body shame, and I didn't mean to denigrate Zales. I found when I heard that story, and now that you tell me he actually had a line of jewelry, that was a plant.
It ain't denigrating Zales. I mean,
well, no, I didn't mean to. I just why would Shaq be at your local Zales in an afternoon? I thought that was kind of odd, and now I found out he has a jewelry line. Yeah, it's a prop. It was a setup.
Well, and when you see the video, the poor kid working the register literally looked like he was pooping his pants when Shaq was handing him the credit card. Like, oh my God, that is Shaq. Which is how most people would react when Shaq is standing right in front of you.
Because everybody's going, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
Why are you in here? And you do look rather dashing in your Shaq JCPenney's polo, though. When
nice,
we come back,
custom made.
We just completely ate this segment up.
It's the Nick Casario segment, of course we did.
Shocked.
Nick Casario did come up and finally speak to the press via the Zooms for sure, but it couldn't have been easy. This has been long awaited to hear from the general manager. All the the discussion has been about his quarterback, but he does have a draft here in just a couple of weeks and not a whole lot of picks to utilize. The shadow hanging over him, Jason, there's no way to run from it. And it might be good deflection from the meager gettings that they're headed toward in the draft.
Well, I mean, are we actually going to talk Texans here?
Well, real quick, we got to, we'll fill the next 5 minutes or so.
Nick Caserio answered questions today like us talking about Shaq at the mall. I mean, some things don't make sense. He didn't answer anything. I mean, there's things that, and I thought those asking the questions of the Texans general manager did a good job of trying to frame the questions in a way in which he could answer the questions, knowing that, you don't want to get the standard. It's a legal question. We're going to let the take the course. Yeah. You know what I mean? But his deflection, certainly very skilled PR moves
I think that situation is in a legal process, and we're respectful of where that is. So we'll leave it there, and we'll focus on the things that we can control, which is kind of getting our team ready for the start of the offseason program and getting our group ready for the draft and the opportunities that will be in front of us here, in a couple of weeks. So that's where our focus is.
Yeah, our focus is there. Deshaun, we can't do anything. But, Monday, Rob, is the beginning of the voluntary off-season workouts that aren't really voluntary, but they are voluntary. So do you expect your quarterback to show up? Is Watson going to be in the building on Monday?
It's a voluntary program, right? So players have the option to participate in the program. So it's a case-by-case basis, and each player will make the choice that they feel is best. What we're going to do is we're going to do what we've done actually the past couple of months. Like, the building's been open. We've had a multitude of players that have been in here. They come in the building, they test, they go in the weight room, they work out, they go through their process. So again, whatever players are here that choose to participate, like, that's their choice. And we're going to create as good of a working environment for the players as possible. So when they come here, they feel comfortable and they feel like they're improving as Texas football players. So that's what our focus is.
Hot water, oil. It's first class, man.
Towels.
Masseuse tables by the hundreds. we for some reason, we have a lot of massage tables, portable massage tables. So we're going to have available masseuses as well.
Cases of baby oil that just got delivered. Deshaun, we welcome you with open arms. But again, Nick Caserio, great job of deflecting. But don't you, if you're Nick Caserio or you're David Coley or both, do you reach out and say, Deshaun, show up? You need to be around positivity. We want to show you that we love you, that we want you. Come here. Everybody is bashing you. We're not. Wouldn't that be the wise thing to do if you don't want to trade him?
Well, he stressed that they're going to focus on the things that they can control. Right? That's the things that, they can't control Deshaun, and it is a voluntary workout at the end of the day, but they can control whether he's traded. There are things that they can control. So, yeah, he's pretty good at deflecting, but you're not deflecting that well. What do you mean we're going to focus on things we can control? I come to work, and we got a bunch of guys coming and going. We got clean towels. The locker room's pretty. We're going to focus on the things that we can control and going and getting people. But one of the things you can't control is whether you continue to work with this quarterback. You could trade him tomorrow. If you chose to trade him, you can control that.
If he showed up and was working, follow me, and it looked like there were some things there that were positive, that maybe Deshaun would change his mind on his trade demand, his trade value then goes back up.
I think that they're doing everything to keep him. At the end of the day, I don't think they're lying. I do believe that they're doing everything that they can to keep him. They can't do much right now, but behind the scenes, I'm sure they're offering every bit of kind advice they can just to try to bring him back. But Deshaun's the one that said he wants to leave. The Texans never said they wanted to get rid of him. I think they're trying. I do. I think they're actually trying. But the fact of the matter is, he is too hot to touch right now. We have the COVID issues on top of that right now. The way that the NFL is approaching this, and the players at least appear to be about to boycott this on Monday, at least in the short term. But he's too hot now. But there is an idea why he would need to report to keep him safe and paid, right, James? There was an idea that he does need to show up, because you can't be holding out and continue to get paid if you're put on that list. So maybe he does show up for a brief encounter.
It'd be interesting. Again, it's not a holdout. Well, he's not holding out yet, but when he holds out, and again, voluntary is voluntary, but at some point, you're right, fines and all that kind of stuff, and what they make mandatory to show up and not virtual, that's when they can start fining them. And under the new rules, it's not like the Texans can waive those fines. They have no choice.
That's it's set up to actually have to get it in there, but I guarantee you there's a workaround. I guarantee you that there's some kind of financial workaround. Hey, we got a lot to talk about with the Spurs as they take on the Trailblazers tonight, and very quickly follow that up with a Phoenix Sun game. We'll look at that just after 5 o'clock. RJ Ochoa, Blogging the Boys, will join us at 5:15 as we look to the Dallas Cowboys and the rest of the NFL. We're looking at the Hall of Fame inductees as well in the 5 o'clock. Got a lot to get into. When we come back, Texas A&M's basketball program is very quickly seems to be in disarray. Texas seems to be on the vault up as Coach Beard has brought in a battery of talent. The Old saying at A&M was Highway 6 runs both ways. Well, evidently 6 is running out of town for the A&M basketball squad. A lot of them leaving. We'll tell you what's going on or try to figure it out up in Aggieland. Coming up next, you're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, we all like things to be easy and convenient. New Brakes has done that with brake repair. Jason Minix here for New Brakes. They're a mobile brake shop. Now, nobody wants to deal with getting their brakes done and the hassle that comes with it. New Brakes has taken the hassle away. See, at New Brakes, they will come to you, your home, your office, wherever you are, and they will fix your brakes. At New Brakes, they provide convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes. So you're not going to get to the upsells that you would get at a traditional repair shop. Takes about an hour for most repairs, and they only use premium brake parts, and they back all their repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. If your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, schedule your appointment now at nubrakes.com. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. Busy at work or just relaxing at the house, they do have weekend appointments available. You continue to do what you do while New Brakes fixes your brakes, and they are great at what they do. Go read all the 5-star reviews and schedule your repair at nubrakes.com for New Brakes, nubrakes.com.
It's time for ESPN San Antonio's Big Score. This hour's keyword is commerce. Enter that keyword at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win $1,000. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
If your definition of free time means arguing with your spouse, you might want to pick a new hobby. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or DivorceDude.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks has been busy mixing up new craft cocktails for their latest beverage menu rollout, featuring signature cocktails, tequila cocktails, classic whiskey cocktail sections, and more. Plus a completely revamped wine program available by the glass or bottle. Come find your new favorite at Twin Peaks.
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, your home to 7 days a week happy hour. Come eat, drink, and socialize safely at all 4 Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar locations. And now you can join us bright and early at the newest location, Slackers Medical Center. Now opens at 7 a.m. to serve our valued medical community. Nurses, doctors, frontline workers, and staff, we thank you. Slackers Medical Center at Fredericksburg and Medical Drive. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now with 4 area locations to quench your thirst.
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
It's the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Quick reminder, Kane Brown tickets are on sale right now. Go get him. He'll be here in San Antonio Saturday, October the 16th. Get your tickets right now at the AT&T Center box office or KaneBrownMusic.com on Sunday, the Sunday Sports Grill. On from 11 to 1. We'll have a pair. Listen then, and you could win. Go see Kane Brown. We talked with Coach Eric Morris yesterday, Jason, UIW head football coach, and we were talking about his recruiting class, and I found it very interesting. One of the very first things he said was, not only am I recruiting those guys coming in, but I'm still recruiting the guys that I have. This transfer portal is crazy, and you look at what's happening around college basketball and what happened at the end of the college football season. And with the recent ruling that now the NCAA this week voted to every FCS player, you get one free transfer. You can show up without any ramifications. You don't have to sit out and do anything. You get one free one to kind of get things going. And once that ruling came, and now conferences have to be kind of a full faith and credit kind of thing. The transfer portal is nuts. I mean, it is literal insanity, and we're seeing it in College Station as well. CSTAT is seeing an exit. Buzz Williams has lost 6 scholarship players since March. I mean, his recruiting class is good. He's bringing guys in, and he lost a couple that weren't his. But I think he's a symbol of, if you have a tough season and times are hard, everybody's got this one ace in their pocket that they can play whenever they like. You've got to continue to recruit and keep your guys around. I'm completely for it, I think. But I think this next couple of 3 or 4 years is going to be really hard on coaches.
Well, especially this 1 year where everybody gets the free pass with no limitations, because if you ain't happy, you're gone. And again, I think for a lot of coaches, if you're not happy, you can leave. But in the case of Eric Morris, what he's worried about is if he's got a guy balling out in the Southland Conference, then all of a sudden, oh, wait, you can go to Texas Tech or you can go to TCU or Texas or wherever. When Eric Morris said, I don't want us to become junior colleges at the lower levels. We coach them up, get them ready, and then lose them, and you don't get that benefit because they maybe weren't ready out of high school, or all the big schools missed on a kid in high school, which does happen. And you don't want to penalize the kid, but at the same time, the program has to have some integrity there. And so it tells me that these coaches, they are recruiting every single day, which also makes it very hard to coach. Player messes up, you yell at them, well, I'll just leave. I wonder how much of this has to go with how bad things were in February during the COVID time when A&M basically lost an entire month, and how unhappy that made a lot of guys.
Well, I think they were losing. That certainly hurts. They're
Sure.
playing a new style. A lot of these guys were playing for Williams, though, recruited by Kennedy. There was some transfer in there as Buzz has gone to reshape the program, but I thought he'd had some buy-in from some of the previous administration types. Flagg individually had his output wasn't the same under Williams, under a style. I thought maybe he'd bought into it, though, but he leaves. It's not that he hasn't recruited well, but in the light of what we've seen going on in Austin just over the last week, and certainly you expect the fruits of Baylor's championship to kind of ring true for years, and their incoming recruiting class is stellar as well. And to see that kind of exodus out of a high D1 program in a conference as competitive as the SEC, it doesn't look good. Now, it might be part of the logical transition, but this transfer thing, this ain't going away. This is permanent. You get one free from now on. So you have to continue to recruit your guys long after you've kept them. And that's a good thing. We haven't reached full equity yet. The players are finally now getting kind of the fruits of their reward for their name and their likeness. They don't have to sit under the thumb of coaches that we have seen over the last several years that might be just completely a toxic environment, whether it be racially motivated or whatever it might be. We hear stories of these coaches, most recently out of Wichita State, where these guys were under tremendous pressure and just awful situations. They couldn't leave. Well, now, at least that first time, you can just up and go. So it will force coaches that say one thing out in front of a crowd and do something very different when the gym doors are locked to kind of re-examine how they handle their athletes, because they will leave and are leaving.
And we saw something very similar up in San Marcos there at Texas State with their basketball program, with a coach that kind of surprised a lot of people until you start hearing from people that played for him, and you go, all right, well, that kind of coaching has to change. The only thing I don't like about
there's a lot I don't like about it. I'm not saying I'm wholeheartedly endorsing it, but I do think it's bringing things to a more equitable situation.
What I don't like, if you make your commitment and you get your scholarship, and I think we all know that it's only a 1-year scholarship. You've got to earn your scholarship every year. What I don't like is the kid that doesn't win the starting job, that realizes, as good as he was in high school, you show up on that college campus, and all of a sudden there's somebody better, and you're not used to that. You don't win your starting job, and well, then I'm just gonna quit and go somewhere else, because I don't think that teaches you much for what it's like to be an adult. Yeah, you know what I mean. I think there's some of that there. There's I like the idea of the portal, but it just can't be free reign. Just go from school to school to school to school.
Well, you get one free, and it will be utilized. And you also combine that with the grad transfer rules that are now in play. It is fundamentally easier to build a program in a remarkably short amount of time. It is also fundamentally entirely easier to see a program collapse in a remarkably short amount of time. Do we want that volatility? I guess we do. At least that's part of the equity that is the job market. And quite frankly, that's what we're talking about.
And you have to hope for Buzz Williams that he knew this was coming. Maybe he encouraged it because he has a whole lot of guys in that portal that he's ready to bring to A&M and can if this guy's still here. You know what I mean? Because there's some of that as well. I mean, absolutely. You know, it does open up the shopping list. It's almost like you're doing your online shopping at the grocery store. You know, need a 6'7" forward. All right, cool. There's one right there. Let's, you know, I mean, it's available in that portal.
And Buzz actually landed one today from a community college, a 6'7" shooter that's coming. He also has a 5-star high school player, the highest rated player to come in since DeAndre Jordan those years back. And I'm kidding, Manny Obaseki. So things are good, but this transition part I think is going to be hard to adjust to and be hard to stay used to because it was difficult enough to get used to your favorite college team's players. Now they can leave whenever they want, and if they're really good, they were gone after a year anyway. We'll continue talking basketball as it becomes appropriate. But when we come back, we got a lot to get into in the 5. Looking at the Spurs tonight, Portland, RJ Ochoa will be with us. We're looking at the Hall of Fame. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you know there's no better place to go than Ancira. I can tell you firsthand because I am a longtime Ancira customer. I have a vehicle from Ancira. My daughter's car is from Ancira, so is my niece's car. Heck, half the people at the radio station drive Ancira vehicles, and it's because of how well Ancira takes care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with all the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and that service after the sale is second to none. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
ESPN San Antonio's Big Score is back. We're giving you 13 chances a day to win $1,000. Is that even possible? ESPN San Antonio's Big Score is back. Just listen for the keyword once an hour, every hour between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. Then enter that keyword at ESPNSA.com, and you could be $1,000 richer. The Big Score is just another way it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Nobody plans on getting arrested, but it happens. Get out of jail fast by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans and are open 24/7. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Making popcorn for movie night?
Whoa, who are you?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless. What if every time you tried a new streaming service, you had to buy a new TV?
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, some wireless companies do that when you switch, make you buy a new phone.
Right.
But TracFone Wireless lets you keep your phone and your number and your network and gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month.
Seriously, who are you?
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Oh, you're burning it.
Oh, no.
See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
Bart Starr didn't play much his senior season at Alabama after a coaching change left most seniors on the bench. That didn't stop the Green Bay Packers from taking a chance on Starr, drafting him in the 17th round of the 1956 NFL Draft. The gamble paid off. Starr went on to a Hall of Fame career with 5 NFL championships, as well as winning the first 2 Super Bowls in NFL history, winning the MVP of both.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Professional football teams are preparing to strengthen their teams with draft picks this month. As you think about growing your business, could the right hire make all the difference for you this season? LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the best candidates with the experience, skills, and motivation you need. Post a job in minutes with your must-have criteria, and LinkedIn Jobs will match you to the most qualified people across their network of 740 million professionals. Post your first job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
ESPN San Antonio, all day, every day. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM, KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go to ESPNSA.com. How y'all doing? Hope you're enjoying your Friday. It's supposed to be cool and damp all week in the long. Celebrate appropriately. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. James Pledger taking us all the way until 6:30. ESPN San Antonio, your home for the Texas Rangers. You get them again tonight. Powered to you by GPS of Texas. The Rangers, they've taken 3 or 4 from the Rays. We like Tampa. They get one more tonight. We'll get going at 6:30 for the pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. Rangers are right here on ESPN San Antonio all summer long. Spurs tonight get to, I'd much rather than be on the road. I like that idea. They're better on the road. They get to Portland tonight. They get to Phoenix on Saturday, and it doesn't look easy considering what we last saw them do. They went in and played a hamstrung and tired and oft losing Toronto Raptors or Tampa Bay Raptors, and really just got out savvied. They played close enough. It wasn't like they got beaten, but they just didn't win at the end of the game. A better team, a team that understood how to win, kind of closed the door on what was a nice little win streak against some bad basketball. But tonight is a test that if you fail, you will fail miserably.
And again, they're playing at home, where, like the rest of the NBA, they tend to struggle. Saw this from Dan Weiss from the Spurs TV crew. Home clubs are just 4-12 since Wednesday, 11-20 so far this week. Overall on the season, 432 and 388, a 52.6 winning percentage, by far the lowest in league history. It makes zero sense why teams aren't playing well at home, even with limited fans. You would think just sleeping in your own bed would make a better difference, but it's not just a Spurs issue. It's a league-wide issue. You're better on the road. Good thing for the Spurs. Most of their games coming up are on the road, which ultimately means it's going to help that home court average coming up towards the end of the season.
Why do you think that is?
There's zero routine at home. Athletes are creatures of habit, and on the road, you're able to maintain a little bit more of your normal road routine than when you're playing at home. I'm not sure what all the current protocols are as far as when you can go to the gym and shoot arounds and that sort of stuff, just not having people at your house and the different things that they're allowed to do. But I think on the road, you probably have more of a routine than when you're playing at home.
Well, it's a different routine. I mean, you do the same thing on game day every day. Some days it's at home. Some days it's on the road. Most of these guys eat the same thing most days. But I think all that plays into it. But that still doesn't explain the discrepancy we're seeing. It is a ridiculous kind of anomaly. Who'd have thought that no fans means you're better when you flew to the play than you drove to play? I don't think anybody foresaw that happening. And as we do see fans coming into stadiums, we get 3,000. You'd think that might have a modicum of an effect, but that doesn't even seem to be affecting it.
No, all of it. Just, everything about this year is weird, right? And this is a another stat. It will be interesting when, the smart nerdy types do the analytics and the research and, talking to the different players about why coaches with their different suggestions as to why. I mean, right now in the middle of the season, talking to the media, you're not going to get an honest answer from a coach as why teams seem to struggle at home. But you've got fewer distractions on the road, and at home, as odd as everything is, maybe just being on the road is better. I mean, you look at how well the team played at the bubble versus now at the AT&T Center. But the fact that it's league wide is what's interesting. It's not just a Spurs issue; it's a league issue right now.
It's a very strange outcome to what, like you just said, a very strange season. Now, when they were in Tampa, the Spurs did find their distance. They certainly shot well. 17-40 was as good as they can do. Derek finally had a nice scoring night with 25 points, going 6 from 11 for 3. And Patty, of course, hitting buckets as well. So at least things were trending right for things that needed to improve for the Spurs. And outside shooting is one of the primary issues apart from some of the defensive mistakes. But that does seem to trend itself well against a Portland team that, by the numbers is certainly better. But given the opportunity, the Spurs need to get one of these. I do believe if they continue to tell themselves that they are a playoff team, whether they're going to sit in 9th or 10th or whatever, you got to at least be competitive against the good teams in the West. And this is one of them that I do believe at some point, whether we beat them tonight or not, if we do make the playoffs, we'll see them again.
Well, it's certainly possible. And again, what I'm curious of for these two games, tonight against Portland, tomorrow night on the road at Phoenix, who's getting rest? Because we are at the point, and you could almost see it in Tampa Bay with that game against Toronto. DeMar looks gassed, and in the fourth quarter, he certainly looks gassed. There's other guys that just look like they need to sit down for a while. They need a night off. They need that rest. I wouldn't be surprised to find out, take some of these guys, fly them to Phoenix today so they're not flying in the middle of the night. Get a good night's rest if you're going to play that game tomorrow night versus playing this game tonight, or don't even go to Phoenix. But at some point, we're going to see the rest. And lots of national talk about throughout the league, the guys that are going to start getting rest, even though games are important when you talk about playoff seeding. Health in the playoffs is more important. Donovan Mitchell got hurt in that afternoon game today, turned his ankle, had nothing to do with rest, but you start looking at injuries starting to pile up, and that's going to be a concern when playoffs roll around.
Rest. I said last week, after DeMar hit that winning shot, that he was going to sit down one of these two games. I feel like that's still coming. But it's hard for me to take rest as an issue when I see them losing and playing against the Raptors, and we saw nothing from Devin Vassell. It was DNPCD, the worst initials to ever have by your name. The coaches decided that if you played, things would get worse. The same thing with Luka Samanic. DNPCD. So when you come to me and say rest, and we have two young dudes that are fully capable to at least eat some minutes up. Now, granted, they wouldn't have eaten DeMar's minutes, but they are capable of taking minutes. You can't come to me and say, well, we're tired and I got to rest some people. Use your bench. That's what we were told you were good at, that you build benches and have 9-10 guys ready to play. Well, we're not there yet. And why aren't we?
Well, I think part of it is while they know they need to get rest, they are trying what they can to get wins right now. And Pop is coaching in the moment. We've got to win this game. Can't afford to put this guy on the bench right now and let this one slip away, even though they lost the game anyway. I mean, it's the balancing act, the juggling that he's doing. If they're really trying to get into the playoffs, and by the minutes that they're extending these guys and not playing those young guys, Pop is doing everything he can to coach a win on that given night. Be damned for the rest. But at some point, that's why I look at these two games and you go, you're not winning these games anyway. We know that. I know that. You know that. Watch, they'll end up winning tonight. But they're not going to win these games, so you might as well sit somebody down in a game that you know you're not going to win.
We've already beaten Portland once. This is a winnable game. But I look at I see exhausted DeMar. I see Derek kind of waking up. DeJounte looked a little tired as well. Keldon started strong. He kind of wore out as well. This is a game that is winnable if we are fully healthy and rested. It could have been a whole lot easier to do. Isn't that the problem, though, Jason? So if you can go by this logic that we have to win every game and we're playing every other night to get into the playoffs, well, by the time they get to the playoffs, this team will be cooked. The goose will be done. The fat will be off the bird. There will be nothing left but dry meat. Why, if they do make it, they're not going to have the legs. If you're still attempting, shouldn't it be incumbent upon you as a coach to ensure that when you do get there with these tired guys, that my backups are ready to play? Instead of going in with 7 exhausted dudes and 6 guys that get 2 DNP CDs a week? See, you can tell me you're desperately trying to the playoffs, but if you get there, do you have a plan? Or is it just to land there? We just got to get there, and if we get there, that's all that the goal is?
We'll figure out the plan once we get there. You know, there's generally a couple of days between the start of the first round. And granted, Spurs are looking like they're going to be in that play-in tournament, so you've got 2 games that you got to try to win. I don't know what the scheduling is for that, but then there's generally a couple of days before the first round begins. And reset the lineup then. I mean, it's almost as if Pop is coaching like a baseball manager down the stretch, trying to get into the playoffs. And, you know, maybe start a pitcher on short rest. And so he won't be available for game 1, but hopefully he'll be available for game 2, depending on how the schedule lays out. But you can't think about that because you got to get to the playoffs first before you can think about what is our playoff plan going to be.
I think he's capable of doing both. I'm going to give him the 30 years of experience as a head coach in the NBA. I would like to think that after these many years that he can do both.
Well, he can, but he's got to work plan A to get to the playoff plan.
Well, plan A should include playing your bench so that they are at least somewhat prepared when you do get there, if that's plan A. You can't – I disagree with that wholeheartedly. This was a spiteful move. This was something that was done in practice. Some mistake that was made that Pop can't get past. This was old Pop. This wasn't new Pop. Devin Vassell and Luka Samanic certainly were available and capable of providing valuable minutes. We know that. And they didn't get a minute. And we're talking about a tired basketball team.
So you think it's more of a discipline issue?
I don't know what it is. It makes no sense. But either scenario that we play with, that doesn't make any sense. That you've got guys that you know you could fill with, that need the experience, that need the minutes, that will help you in this quest once you get to the playoffs, and you don't even put them on the floor. There's a plan there. I just don't know exactly what it is. But you talk out of one side of your mouth, but you act differently. Typical. Let's talk with RJ Ochoa. He doesn't do that. He comes and he tells you honestly, straightforward all the time. Yeah, at least as far as we know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just trying to set him up. He's down in the valley. He's going to join us in a bit. RJ Ochoa, he of Blogging the Boys, our OG Rock the Mic champion, all around good guy, will join us next as we look at the Dallas Cowboys. Hold on. You're on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Barbecue Outfitters over there at 1604 Chavano Park, right next to the Ridge Shopping Center. And you want to get in the Barbecue Outfitters this month because April is Kamado and Pellet Grill Month over there at Barbecue Outfitters. And you go in there, and they're open Saturdays, closed on Sunday. So tomorrow, go in there, and you're going to see the largest green egg dealer in Texas. And they've been that for 24 years running. They're also the only one with the 3 best brands in ceramic cookers. So if you want the big green egg, a Primo grill, or the incredible Kamado Joe, which is what I have, got mine there at Barbecue Outfitters. They're all amazing, and they're all on sale right now at Barbecue Outfitters with their best prices of the year. Great savings plus free assembly, free charcoal, and free starters. Barbecue Outfitters has our pellet grills on sale as well, including Traeger, Green Mountain, Yoder, and Memphis. They're offering instant in-store rebates for all qualifying products, including outdoor kitchens, Weber grills, Polywood patio furniture, and more. Store-wide savings to get your spring kicked off right and your backyard smoking in a good way. Barbecue Outfitters, they're at 1604 Chavano Park, next to the Ridge Shopping Center. It's Kamado and Pellet Grill Month at Barbecue Outfitters. Get in there, check them out. Barbecue Outfitters, 1604 Chavano Park, next to the Ridge Shopping Center.
Love the Saturday morning hangover? Well, watch along every Saturday morning from 9 to 11. You can watch the show live at ESPNSA.com or on the ESPN San Antonio Facebook and YouTube pages. Search ESPN San Antonio and subscribe.
If your spouse's search history includes single and ready to mingle, you may want to reboot your situation. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or DivorceDude.com.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms could mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. Get a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, simple deck height adjustments, and a quality cut. When you need comfort and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Right now, get the Kubota Z400 mower for 0 down and 0% APR for 48 months or save $300 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
And happy hour is back at Twin Peaks. Get up here Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 and score sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, cheap shots, and freezing cold 29-degree draft brews. Feeling snacky? We also have select apps available for $2, $4, and $6. Cheers!
Businesses that run like clockwork establish routines they trust. That's why over 1 million companies rely on Cintas. We'll help you protect employees and customers with essential safety supplies. Inspect your fire protection systems and devices, hygienically launder your uniforms, and keep you well-stocked with the leading hand sanitizers and disinfecting wipes. Learn how Cintas can help you open your doors with confidence. Oh, I'm ready! Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
You heard that safe drivers get rewarded with Snapshot from Progressive, so you went online to check it out. But then you saw an ad for a vintage baseball cap, and now you find yourself checking the stats of that team's second baseman in '97, wondering why his stolen base total dropped after his rookie season. Wonder how much his rookie card is worth. Yes, they said it was easy to save money with Snapshot from Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
Sometimes you sneeze at the worst possible moment. Yeah. Welcome on the Blitz. Thank you, Oak Pollock. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We are joined, as always, on Friday afternoon by our man in the Valley, blogging the boys' own RJ Ochoa, joining us. Good to see you, RJ. Wearing a nice Dallas Cowboy polo, I do believe, though it is not a Victory Polo Monday. Welcome on, man. How's your day?
It's going well. Had some Chick-fil-A for lunch. Sitting here barefoot. Looking forward to the weekend. Just excited to be with the guys, with the bros, with the crew. Everybody's looking sharp. Rob, you took the glasses off, a little bit disappointed. But so, you know, it is what it is. Nice.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. You get that.
What crime do you have? What crime are you solving right now?
No, this is how you do it. I've got one more question for you. I put these on so that I can read the important stuff regarding you. We're talking today earlier about McShay's article regarding the Dallas Cowboys needs as they head into the draft. Is if you could quantify by position Your top 4 needs in order of importance, RJ Ochoa. How would you draft if you were Will McClay and the boys?
Cornerback, number 1. Linebacker or offensive tackle, number 2. Linebacker, number 3. Safety, number 4. Then tight end, number 5.
Well, now, but according to the great Todd McShay, he's got the Cowboys listed in order: top draft needs, tight end, defensive tackle, corner, safety, linebacker, guard, tackle, punter.
I mean, defensive tackles is certainly a need. They just have bodies. Like defensive tackle and linebacker are the same in that capacity. Like they literally have bodies. But look, if we've been over this, if Kyle Pitts falls to 10, you take him. But that doesn't mean that tight end is the top need for the team right now.
Todd McShay writes at ESPN.com, the great Todd McShay, why tight end is such a great need, the number 1 need for the Dallas Cowboys. Quote, I highlighted tight end here because I think a difference maker there could take this offense to another level. It's no secret that Dallas will be zeroing in on defensive players with majority of its 10 draft picks. Real chance it has a pick of every defensive prospect in the class at number 10. But he's got tight end listed at number 1. He's been reading too many headlines.
Yeah,
he's Jerry Jones.
There's an evolution of being a blog boy like I am, where like you reach the stage where
blog boy.
Boy. Is that your pickup line at the bar? What do you do? I'm a blog boy.
You reach the stage where like you sling mud at the national writers, like they don't know, they don't cover, and like to be honest, like I have great respect for Tom McShay, but that's really dumb. Like the Dallas Cowboys have personnel in their wide receivers to run out of 11 personnel all the time. They don't need a tight end. Again, like the Kyle Pitts argument, a different discussion, and just because tight end isn't a dramatic need doesn't mean he shouldn't be an option for them. But yeah, I mean, their top need is easily corner. They haven't added a corner. If anything, they've only lost a corner. They lost Chidobe Awuzie to the Bengals.
Do you trust him to draft the appropriate corner?
I don't. I think you could flip a coin. I really do. I think Patrick Surtain is the more proficient corner, if that's your cup of tea, or more of a Richard Sherman, more of a cerebral genius. And I think J.C. Horn is more of a baller, like a Jalen Ramsey, going to rattle your cage. And there's a great skill and a great level of asset to having each of them. But I think they'll both be on the board for the Cowboys at 10 overall, and I think that they'll lean the safer direction, which is probably Patrick Surtain. He's kind of, he's been sort of molded for this his whole life. But I'm starting to become a larger proponent for trading back, even if that means maybe missing out on both of them.
Well, and again, if the 2 tackles are gone, because assuming Kyle Pitts is gone, which I think he will be at number 10, and you don't trade up to go get him, which I would be against. But if Kyle Pitts is available at 10, you take Kyle Pitts. If he's not, I want one of the 2 tackles. Slater likely to be there at number 10. If the kid from Oregon is available at 10, you go there. If not, I'm with you. I'll trade back to 15, 20, wherever, because one of those corners are going to be there. There's not a corner. While there's lots of very good, like you just said, you can flip a coin on 3 of these guys, and you're going to be okay, but we really won't know for about 3 years.
So this is where, and I promise I didn't come on here just to sling arrows at ESPN's main draft analysts.
Absolutely.
But like
you can call them idiots. I mean, they put 71 of these things out. We're reacting to the latest one. So one of them will be right.
Mel Kiper's mock earlier this week had the Cowboys moving back to 15. You mentioned that as a spot with the New England Patriots. And in that mock, he had the Cowboys still landing J.C. Horn at 15, which is possible. But he had them, as a result of moving back, picking up New England's first-round pick in 2022. And I was curious, and so I went back and I wrote about this, came out today at bloggingtheboys.com, did a 30-minute video for it on the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. And this is really stupid because that's lying to NFL fan bases, and in this case, the Cowboys fan base. If you look over the last 6 years, 3 times, so half of the times over the last 6 years, teams have traded out of the 10th overall pick on the day of the NFL draft. So it's a pretty popular spot to kind of move up to. Right. Twice it was for a quarterback, and we would imagine that it would be New England, who's 15, or Chicago at 20 coming up for Justin Fields if he fell, Mac Jones, whatever the case may be. And each time, the only time that a team picked up a future first-round pick was in 2017 when Kansas City came up with Buffalo and obviously took Patrick Mahomes, but Buffalo jumped from 10 all the way down to 27. And so you're talking about a fall of 17 spots, which merits, a future first-round pick. But when, the Oakland Raiders moved back from 10 to 15, the draft we were at AT&T Stadium, when the Arizona Cardinals took Josh Rosen, and all they picked up was like a 4th and a 5th round pick in terms of net gain. It really isn't that much that Mel Kiper's making it out to be, even if you move back 5 spots.
What I heard Mike Tannenbaum saying this morning on Get Up, which I found kind of interesting, draft day trades, the values of said draft day trades are lower than if you work a deal out heading into the draft. And I think part of that because you're on a time constraint limit. You either want it or you don't. And so the other GMs, the guy that you're trying to get that spot from, the leverage doesn't seem to be there. I thought that was a pretty interesting fact. And, we backed it up with some numbers like what you just did, which makes Mel Kiper's spaghetti on the wall not stick. But it is kind of interesting. If you're making that trade on draft day, the chance of the Cowboys moving back and picking up a lot of value, not very high.
Right. And I think, sorry, Rob, one last thing on that. Of all these instances where teams moved back, there were other instances where like Tampa moved out of the 9th overall pick. So it was close and I counted that one. But most of the time, I think 5 of the 6 times, teams also moved the capital that they received in the trade, which to your point, Jason, kind of suggests like they didn't go into that weekend with the thought that they were going to have those picks. So you get antsy. I mean, the Cowboys already have 10 picks. And so if we're talking about them adding 2 more or whatever, even if they fall from 10 to 15 to 20, I mean, I think I would support that. Like if the Cowboys did move back to say 20, where Chicago is, they would be saying goodbye to Patrick Surtain and JC Horn. There's no way they're both falling. But at 20, I'm fine with them rolling the dice on Caleb Farley. You might still end up with the best corner in the draft. And then if the Denver Broncos moved back from 10 to 20 2 years ago, and they did pick up a 2nd round pick. So that would give the Cowboys 2 2nd round picks. So if they move back from 10 to 20, they take a corner, they still fill that need that we just talked about. And then maybe they take those 2 2nd round picks and either jump back late into the 1st round or jump up early on Friday in the 2nd round to get, I don't know, say Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle from Alabama's falling. And you kind of make things better that way. But you've got to have a creative front office, which the Dallas Cowboys haven't been in a lot of instances before.
RJ Ochoa joining us here on ESPN San Antonio, looking at the Cowboys draft. Let's look at, real quickly, Aldon Smith signs with the Seahawks. They had the opportunity to trade him and actually get some value for him. How did they end up, or what happened that caused them not to sign a long-term deal and for him to escape for essentially nothing?
I think it's a combination of narcissism, and like that's not a bad
that goes
thing.
with every Cowboy move, but okay.
Right. Arrogance, which is a different quality than narcissism, and just foolishness, because according to reports, many from friend of ESPN San Antonio's Jane Slater, the Dallas Cowboys were offered a trade for Aldon Smith by the Seattle Seahawks in October, and the foolishness is that they were already out of the season at the time of these reports because Dak Prescott had already gone down. Yeah, I know. We all know somebody at the bar who has said, well, they were still in the division hunt. No, they weren't. They were not going to win the Super Bowl. You have to accept facts like at that point in time. And the Cowboys didn't. What's more, like this whole thing would be just as true for any random player. But this was Aldon Smith. Like they literally took him off the street after having not played in the NFL for 5 years. And like had the chance to cash out. And that's such a rare thing. And I know that the return is minimal, but this is all the Cowboys are the people that held on to GameStop or AMC or whatever stock way too long.
Dogecoin.
Right. And then it dipped back down. And so like, sure, the overall net loss here is probably like a 6th round pick. It really isn't something significant. However, it's the principle of the matter. I mean, I just mentioned that if they trade back, you would have confidence if they were a forward-thinking creative front office. But this Aldon Smith example shows that they really aren't. And it would be just as true if he wound up with any non-Cowboys team. The fact that he wound up with the Seattle Seahawks specifically really highlights the ineptitude in the particular example.
Was it affected at all by a change in defensive coordinator, do you think?
No, I think they just kind of wore their separate ways. And I think, Aldon faded down the stretch, which was sort of predictable for somebody who hadn't played an NFL season in half a decade. And so I think the Cowboys are foolish or narcissistic or arrogant enough to say, you should have held on. You should have kept that. You should have had 3 sacks every game like you did against us. That's the thing. Like, he had 3 sacks in that game. Like, that's cash out.
Well,
The ticket's hot.
Clearly, Seattle only saw one tape, and they went and got him. But I do wonder, though, one, while it is foolish to think they were in the division hunt, and that's why we never saw quarterbacks, like I wanted to see a little bit more of Garrett Gilbert. Asked Mike McCarthy that, and he's like, well, we're still in the hunt. So they did have that mindset. As foolish as we all thought it was, that was the mindset that they had. Bear might disagree with that. That's fine that your dogs don't like that, but it is true. But I'm still curious when Aldon Smith, when the story started coming out that he wasn't going to return to the Cowboys, there seemed to be, even though we never heard any details, some off-field issues. And you worried about, did he have any kind of relapse? When Mike McCarthy finally spoke to the media and said he had not given up on Aldon professionally or personally, makes me think there's a little bit more to it. Like maybe he was in the plans until he wasn't. And if you did something and the Cowboys are moving on from you, that's a big red flag that is now kind of Seattle's problem. And maybe the Cowboys, in hindsight, got out of that for nothing, but they don't have to deal with it either. And that's certainly a possibility. I know Bear's agent doesn't like that, but it is certainly true.
So 2 things here. One, and I agree with you, the Cowboys were foolish, call it whatever you want, maybe optimistic, foolishly optimistic, but they did trade away Everson Griffin. So they did acknowledge, the glass ceiling on 2020 in some capacity.
But they also admitted a mistake. He was not a good fit, right?
Sure,
that's different.
He was not a good fit after 5 games. I mean, but again, your point stands. But beyond that, to the Mike McCarthy point, and I think this highlights your point, it was Mike McCarthy who was introduced to the idea of Aldon Smith by Jay Glazer. And, Mike McCarthy was the driving force behind getting Aldon Smith to the Cowboys. So it was funny, Mike McCarthy's press conference, when, it was the day before that when Ed Werder reported that the Cowboys were going to move on. And then literally 24 hours later, Mike McCarthy takes the podium and says, well, I don't know. We're not done with Aldon as far as I'm aware. But to be fair, that was kind of a fumbly sort of day for Mike McCarthy because he outed Tyrone Crawford's retirement all on his own. And so maybe he was just in a particular mood that particular afternoon.
He's RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys and Rock the Mic fame. Voluntary workouts scheduled to start on Monday. I know that the Players Association sent a letter to all the players saying hold off a bit because protocols don't seem to be consistent. What are the Cowboys doing?
They've been pretty quiet, and there was obviously the report that they had a lot of people working out, and I think some of that is that they had an enormous amount of people who were injured. So obviously taking advantage of NFL resources and NFL facilities. I know that I've spent, the duration of our time here today kind of bagging on the Cowboys, but it's really been the front office. I do whatever happens here. I know that there's a lot of thoughts on what players should and shouldn't be doing. I ultimately trust the Cowboys leadership within the locker room and their team. I mean, they were the first team to kind of design their own bubble last year. Remember, they camped up and posted up at the Stars adjacent hotel, the Omni. And so I do believe that Dak Prescott's and the Zeke Elliott's and all the points of team leadership are going to handle what they need to as far as the players are concerned. And the coaches did a great job kind of following their lead last year. So I know a lot of other teams are issuing the statements with the NFLPA, but I think the Cowboys, whatever they decide, I do think they will be the right thing to do.
Well, and the reality is, they've been working out. We've seen lots of videos. They might just show up at Dak's house and utilize his football field.
50 yards of fun.
They have been putting out a lot of guys, including Zeke, various workout videos. I think it was CeeDee Lamb said they had a team Zoom meeting the other night to discuss this, but he wasn't really sure what they were going to do. I think the Cowboys are one team that really, so many of them live in Dallas anyway, so it's not like they have to interrupt their off-season home plans and travel in. So it does make it a lot easier for the Cowboys to get together at the facility because they're already doing it, and most of those guys stay there.
To your point, Rob, Daniel Jones, that cute little quarterback up in New York, organized, what was it, like a West Coast trip. And, think about when we go to California, you had to set up a hotel or an Airbnb and all these flights. Yeah. And it's Dak, the superior quarterback of the division, just, group text, guys, come on over to the house. We'll order some pies, whatever the case may be. We got some stuff, and we got some body armors in the fridge. Afterwards, we'll hit up some Call of Duty. Just come on over. Just get in the car, drive 10 miles.
At the 50.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a life where you have to set up an entire, like event on the opposite side of the country as opposed to just going to your backyard.
He's RJ Ochoa. He could set it up. Blogging the boys, rock the mic.
That's what the
champ.
4 of us do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Like, especially on the beach in Oxnard, Pledge sets up some sand drills for all of us. And, we're jumping down, we're pushing up, we're doing some burpees and stuff like that. It's a good time.
All
There's
good until
burping
somebody
going on.
runs over the planner.
That
I have no idea what you're talking about.
secrets are secrets. He's RJ Ochoa, Blogging the Boys. We get him every Friday afternoon. Stay safe, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
One love.
Tackle drills.
Des caught it. Well, draft Kyle Pitts.
Draft Kyle Pitts after San Francisco trades down. We'll come back in just a bit and tell you who is presenting whom at the 2020 Hall of Fame induction, the Basketball Hall of Fame. Tim is going in, being presented by... We'll tell you who it is coming up. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. The ride starts at Alamo Cycleplex. Boy, I'll tell you what, they sell some fun, and tomorrow is the open house. Open house is awesome. When you head over to Alamo Cycleplex, they're on De Zavala and I-10. You're going to walk into a showroom full of 7 different motorsport fun brands that you might be looking for. They handle everything from soup to nuts. If you've got a bike you're looking to sell, they'll buy it. If you're looking to buy a brand new bike, a variety of brands, a variety of styles, and all the great sales and expertise that you require when you go out and buy a toy the likes that Alamo Cycleplex will sell you. Are you looking for one of those 3-wheel Vanderhalls? They actually have them in stock. Those things are hard to come by, and you can't buy anything more fun than that. Alamo Cycleplex is hosting their open house tomorrow, second only to their bike night that is just around the corner, coming up on May the 5th. The summer's almost here. Family fun is front and center. Where you can go get some of that and foster it is Alamo Cycleplex. So if it spins on dirt, if it flows across the water, or eats up asphalt, it is fun, and it will be had at Alamo Cycleplex. Test track and back, service to match. That will be matched by none other. Deals to be had on proper brands. Head into Alamo Cycleplex. See what they got. If they don't got it, you don't need it. Alamo Cycleplex is open, waiting for you. Open house all weekend long. Go in and say howdy to Dave Sears. I'm driving a Honda Metropolitan. It's a little city scooter that you can move around. I'll tell you what, it is fun. It is easy to move. If you're looking for a city mover to save yourself some gas and have some fun, go check out the scooter line by Honda down at Alamo Cycleplex. Days of All on I-10. Their website is Alamo Cycleplex. I'll tell you what, they absolutely sell fun. The ride starts there. Head over to Alamo Cycleplex today. Get yourself some fun, and I promise you, when I ride with you, you'll thank me later.
Hoops and Hype, The Post Up with Brendan Medina and Jack Thompson. A basketball anthology. The culture from the court to kicks for the discerning fan. The Post Up. Fridays at 7 after the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies in our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kielbasa Smoked Meats, slow crafted in Texas since 1949.
We all like things to be easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. Jason Minnick's here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop. They will come to your home or office or wherever you are and fix your brakes. If your brakes are bad or going bad, go to nubrakes.com and schedule your repair. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes, so you won't get the upsells like at a traditional repair shop. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. If your brakes are squeaky or grindy, go to nubrakes.com. Schedule your repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. nubrakes.com. Busy at work or just relaxing at the house, you continue to do what you do while New Brakes fixes your brakes. They're great at what they do. Go read all their 5-star reviews and schedule your repair at nubrakes.com.
Nothing can prepare you
A dragon marking? It's an invitation.
means you've been chosen for Mortal Kombat. On April 23rd, we don't have much time. The worldwide phenomenon comes to life. I am Sub-Zero. Get over here! Mortal Kombat, rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent. Theaters and on HBO Max, April 23rd.
Drive-by birthday parties, virtual weddings. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get Allstate's quality insurance at an affordable rate. When you bundle your home and auto, you'll save up to 25%. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company, and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. I was just listening to the spot, Jason. Mortal Kombat, the movie's coming out. I don't know if they've ever successfully made a video game to movie. I think they've tried a lot of times, some of them better than others. I hope this one's good. That's one of those games that is part of the arc of the video game. Everybody back in that late 80s or late 90s, early 2000s, we were all playing Mortal Kombat. I hope the movie's good.
Well, I mean, there's so many. What were you telling me about Indiana Jones 5 that's coming out?
Yeah, Indiana Jones 5. They're starting to film it. They're hoping to film it this summer. We might get it next summer. And Harrison Ford's back. They're going to roll his old ass around. He's going to do it one more time. Congratulations. But I'm excited about it. Those movies are great. Those movies are fantastic. Indiana Jones, number 5. The Search for Geritol. It's coming.
Well, it's right up there with Rocky 12. I mean, it's just incredible what Sly Stallone's able to do. And with these old boxers getting back in the ring.
Well, Rocky at least stopped fighting. He just started training. He had to find younger dudes. Harrison's still putting on that leather jacket, grabbing that whip, and headed to points unknown, man.
You wait. You see Tyson getting in the ring and Holyfield getting in the ring. Rocky 14, he's getting back in the ring.
Did you see where he might be? We'll get into it. I brought up that movie real quickly. There's a movie called Nobody that is coming out on pay-per-view and in the theaters. You want to watch it free on pay-per-view, you can go to ESPNSA.com. Bob Odenkirk's the star. He's the one that's in Better Call Saul, a great actor. Nobody looks like one of those old Charles Bronson, kills everybody in retribution and revenge for some terrible happening. And it's going on right now. You would get your free pass to watch it live on a pay-per-view. Go to ESPNSA.com for all those details. So the Hall of Fame induction that was postponed last year for our beloved Tim Duncan is coming around the corner. And it was announced yesterday that David Robinson will be inducting Tim into the Hall of Fame. When I heard David Robinson, I was shocked, but I'm ignorant, Jason. I'm not aware of all the rules and protocols of the different Halls of Fame. Evidently, you got to be a Hall of Fame member to present a Hall of Famer. So that makes perfect sense that David does, in fact, have the what color jacket do they get? Is it orange?
I don't know.
What's the ceremonial thing? It's the gold jacket for the NFL. What does the NBA types get that tells you that they're a Hall of Famer?
I don't know.
I don't think they have one, right? A headband, a ceremonial headband.
I mean, that's you probably get a ring that Tim probably won't wear. That is orange. They get an orange jacket. All right, and again, it's a jacket, so Tim will never wear it. You know what I mean? I'm sure he'll wear the polo. The little patch he could put on some cargo shorts that get those Hall of Fame cargo shorts going. That's certainly a possibility. And I don't know if it's a general rule for the Basketball Hall of Fame, but in reading about all the presenters, all of them were asked to select previous inductees to present them for enshrinement this year. Because I'm with you. I don't know that David would have been in my top 5 of potential people. I thought that it would be more along the lines of either a Greg Popovich, Manu, Tony, one of his longtime teammates. Now, granted, he did win a couple of trophies with David Robinson, but it does surprise me. Well, no wonder. I'm saying, James Pledger, if you're watching on Facebook Live or on the YouTube channel, puts the picture up. No wonder those guys never wear those in public. Look at that. Yeah, it looks like they're recruiting for the Orange Bowl down in Miami.
Dude, it's not any worse than the yellow jacket. It's not any worse than the green jacket. It is what it is. But yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be fetching. It's an eye catcher. Here's something that is interesting that, Pop isn't inducting or presenting Tim Duncan into the Hall of Fame. We don't know why, but we do know he's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not. He's technically.
How is that even remotely a thing? How can he not be? Well, Calipari and Bill Self are in the Halls of Fame. He was coaching when those guys were ball boys, were team managers washing towels.
This is where somebody out there is going to remember this story more than I do. Whether Ryan Nagel, Don Harris, somebody. But I think at one point when it was talked about, Pop declined, doesn't want to be in while he is still going. So you ask, why is he not in? Because he doesn't want to be in. It's definitely by his choice.
What though? You put him in anyway. Hey, congratulations. I don't want to be in. Well, guess what? The induction's on May the 5th. I hope you show, and maybe you might want to come model for your bust. But we're bringing you in, man. You got 5 rings. It's embarrassing that you're not in here. It's shameful that John Calipari is going to be inducting somebody, and Greg Popovich isn't going to be here. We got to put you in, man. It's for our sake, not yours.
Well, and again, I think maybe for some of those, there's a little fundraising. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it makes
college.
Sense.
Yeah, there's some money that trades his hands.
It makes sense for all these college coaches because but for the pro coaches, for Pop, he doesn't want it. Yeah, at least at this point, he has declined it. I don't know how often he gets asked, but I remember, I distinctly remember, although the details are very fuzzy, that there was an opportunity and he declined and didn't want to have anything to do with it while he is still coaching.
He's got to go beat Don Nelson's record. Once he takes Don's record and he hangs out with him in Maui and plays some poker and vibes some of the stuff that Don's doing. He doesn't want in.
The interesting thing is, while Tim Duncan is the headliner for us in San Antonio, and the fact that he's going in, and you got to go to David Robinson's enshrinement when he went in back in 2009, but with Kobe going in, that Michael Jordan is presenting Kobe Bryant. That also surprised me. I thought it would end up being Shaquille O'Neal.
It is certainly perfect that Michael's doing it. Again, it's one of those. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised that Michael's doing it. It would have felt to see maybe a Phil doing it or Shaq. Michael was a rival, was the pinnacle, was what he chased that entire time. It certainly feels right, but he wasn't part and parcel of what Kobe was. And when you think about Kobe, my first thought is he and Shaq. Phil Jackson, all of those guys would have played a little bit more role of that. But certainly, anytime we can hear Michael speak, and let's hope we get another meme, we're all for it. It makes sense, but again, I'm a little surprised that it wasn't somebody a little bit closer to him or had something more direct involvement in his career other than the rival and the pinnacle at which he chased.
Although when you've got the GOAT presenting you, that is incredible. But we are going to hear plenty from Michael Jordan on enshrinement night, because not only he's got double duty, not only is he presenting Kobe Bryant, but also Baylor women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey is going to be presented by the GOAT, Michael Jordan, which again makes all the sense in the world. She's actually on record as saying that, well, he wasn't the first choice. She had another coach in mind to present her, but because of health reasons, unable to attend. So her second choice for presentation is Michael Jordan, because they were on the 1984 Olympic team together.
I didn't know Mulkey had made the Olympics, to be honest with you, but that was LA. That was a good team, good time. LA in '84. That was a rousing success for everybody involved. Yeah, go ahead, Jordan. Do you get double? Does he get extra if you present twice? Is there something beneficial to?
Maybe, I don't know. Do they get? I don't know what does he get 2 plaques for presenting? I don't know. I mean, per diem, does he get an extra hotel room? Like, hey, you and your family are going to get a hotel room and car service. Well, I'm doing too, so I need extra rooms. It's possible.
Sometimes it's like you're showing off, man. You're already the greatest of all time. You don't need to be the most prolific entertainer at the same time. It's like hosting Saturday Night Live like 5 times. You get to do 2 introductions on the same night. One last that's going in, and they're not alone. Kobe Bryant, Tamika Catchings going in, certainly a great, presented by Alonzo Mourning and Dawn Staley. Kevin Garnett is being introduced by Isaiah Thomas. That I didn't see coming either.
That one surprised me, although I think about all the Hall of Famers Garnett play. Yeah, so Isaiah Thomas had to be it, right? That's just got to be personal relationship stuff there. That one was a little bit surprising. And Rudy T is being presented by Calvin Murphy and Akeem Olajuwon.
That's the perfect heart of a champion. That duo is good. Eddie Sutton is finally getting in. I know that it's been a long time in coming for Coach Sutton. Arkansas, of course, Oklahoma State. He's being presented by John Calipari, Bill Self, who is, by the way, in the Hall of Fame by his ability to do a present, and Sidney Moncrief, one of the greats back in Arkansas lore. Hall of Fame just around the corner. Tim Duncan, our favorite, he will be going in. I'm sure the parties are going to be fun. Tim in the Hall of Fame presented by David Robinson. Coming back, we know he's going to the Hall of Fame, Steph Curry, but as what? A point guard? A lead guard? What Steph Curry has done over the last 9 games, he is having the finest stretch he's had of his entire career. Remember when he was the undisputed and complete MVP just 3 years ago? He's playing even better than that. Where does this place in the world of the NBA as his team is not very good? Let's talk some Steph Curry. And don't forget, Spurs have Portland tonight. Jill Jelnick will join us for Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom just after 6 o'clock. Coming back, we're talking hoops. Steph Curry front and center here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
It's Friday. You're going to fire up the grill this weekend. You're going to have a great reason to get a brisket going this weekend. But, whatever you've got on that grill needs to have great meat. That comes from Tri-County Meat Market. 2 locations, locally owned and full service. They've carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, and upper choice. Tri-County, they have everything you need to up your grilling game. The beef, the pork, the fajitas, poppers, pick 5 for $25, and briskets, Rob, are on special at an unbelievable price.
Before we start talking about the great deals, one deal is consistent, and that's the 5 for $25. Meats, vegetables, things you fill your pantry with. It's as good a deal as you'll find at any grocery store across the city, and it's at both of the Tri-County locations. Yep, the specials are spectacular, especially for you brisket smokers, because if you recall last summer, brisket was a little pricey no matter where you went. Well, it's fallen down to really acceptable rates. You're going to want to pick up more than just one when you can find prime brisket at $5.99 a pound. Tri-tip or picanha, your favorite, at $7.99 a pound. Try that if you've never cooked it. It's spectacular. The 3-bone plate rib, the dino ribs, $8.99 a pound, and those fancy English cut ribs at $8.99 a pound as well. This weekend, if you're wanting some crawfish, man, give them a call. They have live crawfish, $100 for 30-pound bag. That's market rate, big, fresh, and ready to go. Just make sure you call ahead Thursday, Friday, or Saturday and make your order to pick them up. Tri-County offers a 10% discount to all of our first responders, and military, of course, is included in that. Go check out their website and go check out their 2 great locations, Hebner Road out on Ralph Fair Road and TriCountyMeat.com.
It's time for ESPN San Antonio's Big Score. This hour's keyword is Austin. Enter that keyword at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win $1,000. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Time is running out. You have until Saturday at 7 p.m. to take advantage of Diamonds Direct's spectacular store-wide spring sale. Response has been incredible, but you must hurry. Take advantage of 20% savings across the board. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, plus an extended selection of all new designer jewelry flown in just for this. When Diamonds Direct has a sale, you know it's the real deal. Extreme savings, including thousands of engagement rings and wedding bands. But this event ends Saturday at 7 p.m. and will not be extended. And it's only at Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys, at the shops at Lock Ontario.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, bump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Hey, it's me, your cousin from Boston. I'm on the radio doing ads for Sam Adams. Now I'll be known as the Sam Adams guy instead of the dude who fell in the quarry. Sam Adams Boston Lager is crisp and refreshing, which is why I bring a six-pack wherever I go, except the movies anymore. Sam Adams from Boston with love. Here's the legal part. Watch how fast I can read. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Drink responsibly. Now, is that 30 seconds? Are we even close?
O'Reilly. Cleaning your fuel system can make your car run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner and add it to your tank during your next fill-up. On sale now, buy one, get one free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop by and talk to our professional parts people today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's the Blitz, a Friday edition. Though we will be out early tonight. The Rangers playing. New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair brings you the Texas Rangers. Rangers always powered to you by GPS of Texas. Rangers and Rays, they're going to finish it up. 3 straight are rolling for the Rangers' way. Let's see if they can close it out the right way. We'll get it going at 6:30. First pitch a little bit after 7 o'clock. Texas Rangers found right here on ESPN San Antonio all season long. Brought to you by New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair. They come to you and fix your brakes. We got a lot to talk about in the 6 o'clock, so let's head out of here. Coming back, we got basketball. Jelnick will join us of YOLO, Texas, and Sports Tonight as we look toward the Spurs, Portland Trailblazers. In the meantime, we'll be right back. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. And if you are on the go, you need to head over to Twin Peaks, 3 locations. Same great party. Bourbon and Brews is happening right now till 7 o'clock. They're halfway down the road, and you know when you walk into a happy hour at Twin Peaks, there's so much going on. You got 360 degrees of spectacular viewing, not only the televisions, but all the scenery around you. You know the food coming out of the kitchen is going to be scratch-made and perfect, and make sure you're checking out that brand-new menu that they have upped and improved as they do every year. Seasonal dishes coming out. Scenic views are happening all weekend. If you're looking for the fights, yeah, they got Jake Paul and Ben Askren going on tomorrow, April 17th. The two undefeated stars are getting down. The Triller Fight Club event will be live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and you can check it live at Twin Peaks. Sunday, your scenic views will include NASCAR. Yep, they're going off at Richmond, and you can watch it right there. Twin Peaks Bourbon and Brews. The party is the happy hour going till 7 o'clock and all weekend long. Head over to either one of those three Twin Peaks locales, I-151 and I-10. Days of All at I-10. We all know that's my home field. And the one over on Park North location. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
O'Reilly.
Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil option at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a Wix filter for just $29.99. Syntec is formulated for today's engines to minimize friction, heat, and wear. Try Syntec today exclusively at
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me. Hello, I'm Flo from Progressive. And did you know?
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking and you just check if you can be saving, which it's going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Online at ESPNSA.com. All day, every day. KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go to ESPNSA.com. You can watch us live. Got about 30 minutes of show left. We're taking you all the way to 6:30. We got Rangers very quickly to follow. Spurs are playing Portland tonight. Finish off a nice little road run with a nice loss to the Tampa Bay Raptors there night before last. Get a little bit of a rest to take on Portland tonight. Last saw Portland, we beat them. There should be a hint of confidence as we are joined by Jill Jelnick of YOLO Texas and Sports2Nite. That's Game Night San Antonio is always brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Okay, Jill, here we go. We talked about this all week, that they're not so much benchmark games, but these are the kind of games that really do tell you how good you are. Toronto, they're an afterthought. We won't see them again for another year. But the Trailblazers, but the Suns, these are Western Conference foes that really tell you how you are playing at any given time. Expectations tonight as we go in with a Trailblazer team that is kind of firing on most of their cylinders anyway.
You know, Rob, I actually do kind of like that phrase or that labeled a benchmark game, right? Because they're coming off a close loss to the Raptors that they really should have had them easily with their lineup. But now you get a Blazers team that, you're right, a top Western Conference opponent, but they're kind of on a little bit of a slide lately. Mm-hmm. They lost 4 of their last 5 games. You know, Damian Lillard, the 3rd highest scorer in the league right now, but even he hasn't been on his MVP type game in the last couple of weeks. So I think this is a huge opportunity for the Spurs to get the first game of the back-to-back, because we know the Suns tomorrow will not be easy.
Well, and we know Phoenix is going to be tough tomorrow night in Phoenix, but what I've been saying about this game, I'm completely changing now. Spurs need to go after and get this win because Dame is not going to play. Coach Stotts just announced that he is going to sit tonight as he nurses that hamstring issue.
We've come to this.
We're now the rest the stars against the Spurs thing. So with no Dame tonight, and Derek Jones Jr. starting in his place, Spurs need to go after and get this win.
Absolutely. And they need to get a big enough lead so that they can hopefully, even rest the veterans down the line, right? Or just maybe in the fourth quarter, save up a little bit of energy before tomorrow. But you're right, Jason. You go full cylinders all the way, start to finish. You got to get this game.
Game Night San Antonio brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. The Spurs suffered through that the beating in Portland. We haven't had in Tampa Bay as they took on the Raptors. One of the things that is stuck in my craw after watching that, for lack of a better term, why didn't Devin Vassell or Lucas Samanic get any minutes in that game when a team that obviously looked in the middle of that fourth, late in the third, to be competing and doing all that they can, but starting to run out of gas, and still we see Pop with that restricted bench, and we sacrificed some really good play. I thought Derek White had as good a game as he's had in a month.
Because he's going to put his veterans in, Rob. He's going to put in the guys that he can count on, the guys that he can trust. And that's just not Devin Vassell right now. Devin Vassell has had a great rookie year, has showed what he can do, and has the potential to be a long-term fit for the Spurs. But I'm sorry, you're not going to put him in when the game is on the line. You're going to put in the guys that have been there in those moments and have consistently performed successfully, like Derek White, like DeMar DeRozan, like DeJounte Murray. That's why.
Thank you, Jill. Because I've been trying to tell him that. He just doesn't want to hear it.
I'm not talking about him.
He doesn't want to hear the truth.
You think I'm talking about putting those guys in with 4 minutes to go and asking them to go win the game?
Then what are you talking? What are you asking?
I'm talking about second, third, and fourth quarter when you're looking toward a 5-minute chase. You knew in the middle of late in the second, early in the third, this was going to be tight to the end. They were going to play savvy, but they just didn't have the manpower to pull away. And the Spurs were hitting shots. They were playing well enough to be there. And if you'd have planned your manpower right, you have a much better rested group of 5 if you use your types like Luka, like Devin Vassell in those middle third minutes, in those early in the fourth minutes to kind of give your guys a break. They ran out of gas, and we wasted some good performances. Drew Eubanks played well.
Yeah.
He looked really good against that donut that Toronto was offering. He did the right things. Derek White did well. Even DeMar played well. Derek White did. We wasted a Patty Mills game because they just ran out of gas. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't a need to get those guys in there to win the game, but at some point you got to open your bench, Pop. It's the same complaint night in and night out. Your absolute trust in guys that aren't going to be here in the long term.
Rob, I hear your point. And you know what? You do make a great point when you look at the stretch of this second half, because fatigue is going to it's already played a factor. Especially look at a game like tonight with the Suns tomorrow, back to back. But I would argue that I don't think it was the Spurs lost because they were gassed. They lost because they were out physicaled. Toronto Raptors were bigger in all ends. It was a mismatch in that regard, and I'm sorry, but they completely brought the physicality, and the Spurs could not match that. That's what I would argue would be the issue with Wednesday's night's game. But I do hear your point in fatigue. That is going to play a factor down the line. It already is.
It is, but I think, and I do think towards the end, especially with the missed free throws, they looked tired at the end. And part of that was the physicality that the Raptors brought in that game. And you waste a 17-made three-point game, but it's because Pop is doing everything he can to win that game. And if not, if it isn't trust and we're trying to win this one and whatever it takes, and the amount of minutes that DeMar got the other night and some of the other guys who we know are tired, the only other thing it could be is discipline, unless Pop is seeing things in practice that say, dude, you can't even sniff the court right now. It's like he was in timeout for that game.
Was he in timeout, or was he just not going to be used because he hasn't been here long enough? He didn't make a mistake to get pulled because he never got in the game to make a mistake. If it was a practice issue, I thought we had a new Pop. I thought we had found this new Greg Popovich that wasn't going to go Serbian. That's what we were told. We saw that earlier in the season. And suddenly, as we start to chase and delude ourselves into thinking we're a playoff caliber team, we suddenly sit these guys down that we're going to have expectations. If we do make the playoffs, we're going to need them. And if we don't make the playoffs, we're going to need them next year. The guys that you are playing, the likelihood of some of these guys being here next year is getting slimmer. So I don't quite get the mindset of, yeah, we're going to play our young guys except for those young guys, especially our first picks.
Drew Eubanks played really well.
He drop step dunk like I didn't think he was capable of. On Anunoby made him mad. I mean,
you got one of them. You got one young guy that we're not used to seeing, and there you can't
and
have
he'll
them all.
be gone. Drew Eubanks
greedy.
will not be a Spur next year if things go as we are prepared to do. Yeah, we're going to continue talking about the preparation for the game, but I do want to talk about a rumor that's been floating around that was first started by James Pledger and myself some months ago. We were desperate for Lowry marketing. Now we hear from Jeff Garcia's Spurs Zone yesterday, Jill, that that team executives around the league are saying the Spurs are very active in the market to go and get themselves a jump shooter the likes of Lowry marketing. Do you believe that because it's been public, or do you not believe it because it's public?
Yeah, good question. I don't believe it because it's the Spurs. How about that?
Right.
With the Spurs, the rule with the Spurs is I'll believe it when I see it. I think when it comes to this stage in the game, gosh, it's really hard to think about the Spurs trying to make moves outside of what they're doing physically right now on the court. They got their own problems right now. And I just don't see it just doesn't seem like the Spurs to me.
Again, when we see it, it tends not to happen, right? The other part of it is,
right.
He is such a great defensive player. He'll fit right in with what Greg Popovich is looking for. I mean, half his game is perfect. Half his game is perfect for what the Spurs need. But the part that Pop says he thinks about the most, the defensive side, that really ain't marketing's game. And we got enough guys that don't play defense on this team. I can't see them spending big money in free agency to get a guy that isn't going to play defense.
Got to open up that offense one way or the other. We'll see if that does occur. We have a late scratch for the Trailblazers. A big-time player will not be playing against the Spurs. When we come back on Game Night San Antonio, we'll tell you who it is, give you the revised starting lineups, and look toward the weekend as the Suns await tomorrow in the Valley of the Sun. Hold on tight. You're on Game Night San Antonio here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
It's Friday. You have your weekend plans. I'm guessing none of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. Maybe it's not you, but a family member or a friend. They call you. They need to get out of jail. Best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number, or go to the website, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're down in Corpus, in the Valley, up in Dallas, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. 225-2121 or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
There's only one way to do Saturdays with the Saturday Morning Hangover. James Pledger and Jack Thompson getting you ready for all the weekend's games and then some. Saturday mornings 9 to 11, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Maxwell, he was scratching and losing some hair. My vet, she says, oh, he must be allergic to chicken. Another vet said he's the drain. Third vet said it's the weather. Then somebody said DINOVITE.com. It took 2 weeks, and the dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out. The Dinovite is a big part of Maxwell's diet.
You get some Dinovite, how happy your dog will be. DINOVITE.com.
Why would I sell the car of my dreams for a food truck that wasn't? Or rattle off condiment combinations in my sleep? Extra mayo, all the mustard, ketchup on the side. I mean, when did an app become my favorite tool? Nothing personal, Spatula. It's because I wanted to make the best burger ever. And QuickBooks suite of tools helped me get there.
Intuit QuickBooks helps small businesses be more successful. Learn more at QuickBooks.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Time for an oil change. We've got a great deal that can help you get it done. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil, an STP extended life oil filter, and an STP air filter for just $32.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Manu Ginobili.
This is Matt Bonner, a.k.a. the Red Rocket, a.k.a. the Red Mamba, a.k.a. the Sandwich Hunter.
Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
It's Game Night San Antonio. It's always brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Swing by over there on 1604. Get you a big old pie. Get you some of those breadsticks with that beer cheese, too, man. Those things are that's fantastic.
Yes,
Mellow Mushroom waiting on you all weekend long. She is Jill Jelnick of Sports2Nite in Yolo, Texas. He is Jason Minix, my co-host. James Pleasure on the top left-hand side. I'm Rob Thompson. We are talking Spurs in Game Night San Antonio. We got late word, some good news, in fact, for the San Antonio Spurs, as Dalla Dame will be resting tonight. He's got a bad hammy. Going to sit back and will be replaced by the jumper that is Derek Jones. Norman Powell, fresh from the trade, is also playing with C.J. McCollum. They're no slouches. They still got C.J. They still got Nurkic, and Powell is a star in his own right. They're not going to be easy, but that things did get a little bit easier. We don't have to face the Dave.
Yeah, no, that's a huge plus for the Spurs tonight, especially with the Suns knocking on the door tomorrow. But Jason alluded to it earlier. You go all out on this game. You got to. I think there was no changing the mindset even before we were unsure whether Damian Lillard was playing or not. But now that we know for sure he's not, Spurs Spurs got to go out and get this one. The toughest part here with the Blazers is going to be their 3-point shooting. They're one of the top 3-point shooters teams in the league, second behind the Utah Jazz. They average anywhere around 40 attempts a game. Now, the Dame is obviously responsible for a lot of that, but CJ McCollum, the rest of this crew, make no mistake, perimeter defense has to be on point tonight for the Spurs.
Well, and again, the part that does concern you with no Dame is typically in a one-off when somebody's out, everybody steps up and they try to, that one game, you get that wounded dog syndrome, right? So the Spurs have to guard against that. But the good news is they get Deng back. And not that we really know this guy or what he can do for the San Antonio Spurs, because he seems to be hurt about every 8 minutes since he's been a Spur. At least he gives you another body and he gives you some size, because when we have seen him, it looks pretty good. It looks like something the Spurs could use if he can go a quarter and a half without getting hurt.
The Spurs taking
to
on
Rob's point earlier, Gorgie Jang is going to be that relief for the legs. You're absolutely right, Jason. Not only is he height, not only is he interior defense, he's fresh legs. To Rob's point, that's going to be hopefully help them out down the stretch, third, fourth quarter, if the game gets close on Wednesday.
The Spurs don't match up well against a lot of teams. They match up pretty well against Portland. The idea behind what Portland is trying to do offensively and defensively kind of matches what the Spurs are doing. They play a smaller style. Their post isn't an intimidator by any stretch. They get a lot of buckets from Cantor, and Covington can run the court. This is a team that we do match well with. Is there one particular position, obviously without Dame, that guard position should be a win, but is there one guy that you see that really needs to be pretty good considering the style of play that we're going to see with Portland going up tempo?
You're talking about Portland on Portland's team, correct? Or with the Spurs?
Well, which Spur do you think should be most successful in an up-tempo game if we're dealing with a Dameless Trailblazers? Are we going to have to go out there and outscore them offensively? Are we going to see a Spur step up defense and maybe hold them to 95 to 105 and just play their game?
Right. No, I don't think the Spurs are going to outscore them offensively. I mean, this is, even without Dame, this is a very high-scoring, fast-paced team, and you don't play to their strength. You have to play to yours, right? And yes, the Spurs are quick, they're fast, but they're just not as sharp with the three. So, Rob, it has to come down to defense. It has to come down to perimeter defense, winning the turnover battle, right? We've talked about that, especially in a fast-tempo game, transition defense, transition offense, and then also, how about Jakob Poeltl? If these two teams are similar, right, with a fast running gun, shooting three, then how about the Spurs take control in the key and in the paint, win that game, win those battles. Don't try to outmatch Portland in what they do best.
Although hitting some threes, and I don't expect them to make 17 of 39 like they did against.
It's not a bad thing either.
Against the Raptors. Although if they were to get 12 or 13 of them, I think we'd be happy with that. I don't know if Patty Mills is going to do back to back. We thought DeMar against his former team, although it's been a lot of years. Maybe Patty, will feel something going against Portland. But you look at Rob, to your point. I mean, we could always say DeMar. But this is one of those games where I think DeJounte can really take over, really on both ends of the floor. This could be and probably should be a DeJounte Murray kind of game. DeMar's going to be steady, Derek White, but I really want to see DeJounte, who's played well as of late. But this matchup, especially with no Dame, he should be able to really control things offensively and get the Spurs where they need to go, whether it's a high assist night or a high scoring night. But DeJounte is going to be responsible for a lot of buckets tonight if the Spurs are going to win this game.
I know it seems counterintuitive, but I think the Spurs on a night like this need to push the pace. I think that if we're trading threes for twos, we need more possessions to do that. But at the same time, what we saw, 17 for 49, this is a team that actually saw the rim from three and took the shots that were required. They just didn't make enough of them against a savvy Raptor team. We saw Derek White go get buckets the other night. I think there is a dual threat that can be applied. I think that the likelihood of the Spurs getting a split over this weekend is going to be tough, but if they are going to get one, I think it's going to have to be tonight. And I'd like to see Pop load up tonight. Let's go get this run and have some fun tonight on the road against a Portland team that's a man down, but they did it knowing they're playing a Spurs team that really isn't what they saw the last time they lost to the Spurs. I'd like to see DeJounte get a lot of run and gun out there, and I'm going to say it again. Use your bench, Pop. Please utilize those young legs and let them get out there and do some of the grunt work so your guys will be there late in the game if it is in fact close. But it's going to be tough. No Dame, but C.J. McCollum is always going to be a tough grab. Mm-hmm. Who would you like to see guarding C.J., Jason?
Man, Derek. Derek or DeJounte. I think either one would be able to
it's got to be
him
either
well.
of them. Yeah,
I mean, probably a combination of both. That's the nice thing with Derek and DeJounte. They're both great defenders there.
Right.
So, and one can cancel out the other, then I really like the Spurs' chances. I thought the Spurs were going to lose both these games until I saw Dame was sitting. With no Dame tonight, Spurs need to go get this one. Need it to go get this one.
So you're saying there's a chance.
It's
beyond a chance.
Small one.
I want to throw out an interesting stat that I can't quite make sense of. DeMar DeRozan certainly has been the team leader. We're not going to question any of that. But, some of the primary problem with his game that a lot of people see is his complete inability to make threes. Well, not only is he not making them, he's essentially stopped taking them.
Well, sure.
He's 0 for 4 in the last 10 games. He's only He's only taken 4 threes. Well, there is a cost-benefit analysis to some of this, and one of our issues is we don't shoot well from 3. He's capable of it. Now Pop isn't even making him do it. This, it's not even worth it.
He shoots 3-pointers about as well as I do, and so if he's taking them and they're missing them and they're not getting any offensive rebounds and second chance points, put him where he's comfortable because he's been scoring a lot without having to rely on a 3 or force a 3.
Again, that mindset.
It's not his strength.
Well, no, it's not. But with that mindset, you need possessions. We're playing the second best three-point shooting team in the NBA. If we can't match them 3 for 3, we got to get possessions, which means turn the ball over, play your perimeter defense, get your long rebounds, and get out and go. Let's not limit this. Let's play their game tonight. Because one of their best guys ain't there. The old axiom, at least in schoolboy basketball, is you press a pressing team. You go after them. If they think they're going to do it to you, you go do it to them first and see how they react. This is the kind of game I want to see from them tonight, knowing full well that Phoenix lies in wait, and that's a whole other beast we got to deal with because they get real big and really athletic down on the front line, and we can't quite handle that. Hadn't been able to all season long. The Portland Trailblazers tonight. The Phoenix Suns on Saturday night. Where do you think we will be sitting on Sunday, Jill? Are we still going to be nose into the playoffs?
Man, isn't that the game though, right? Where are we going to be a week from now? We're in the standings. No, I mean, I like going back to what we said. If they could split these 2 games, that's huge, right? You just take one of these 2. I'll take either of them, but I think tonight's the more gettable one. In terms of next week, man, the better they can position themselves now, the better it will be for the end of the second half of the season, which is absolutely brutal.
If things go the way I think they will, we'll be 3 games under 500. We'll be down there with New Orleans tied for 10th. It ain't going to be pretty.
Catch the Saturday morning hangover tomorrow. They'll sum it all up. This has been Game Night San Antonio. We'll see you Monday.
It's time for ESPN San Antonio's Big Score. This hour's keyword is Northside. Enter that keyword at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win $1,000. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
I'm Joel Clark, a Select Quote agent, with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and he can't take